No.
What about, we maybe see, I know like a lot of people's spouses and like significant others, like, do you think your wife would ever be part of this show going forward? I know this season, obviously we don't see her.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we try and keep our professional lives separate. So that's where we stand now. And that's probably where we would stand, but who knows?
Before I move on to another question, do you have a favorite Brittany Snow movie?
I love all the Pitch Perfects. Everybody does, but Pitch Perfect one specifically.
Such a good answer. It's such a good show. It's such a good show.
Yeah.
What about if you were ever going to move to LA, like, and you were going to call an agent from the Selling Sunset crew? Do you have a favorite, like an agent that you would use? It doesn't have to be your favorite, but someone you would use if you were going to.
That's a good question. I think based on my interactions, I would have Amanda represent me. She's the best. She's so sweet, so nice. And I've met her like twice, so I don't have a ton of, there's not a long relationship there, but she just seemed very easy to work with, very smart, very cool.
She's a good one. Well, Selling Sunset is already greenlit for, the next 2 seasons. I can tell you, I mean, I know nothing is announced at Neflix, but the show is coming back. I can guarantee you that because it's such a big hit. Are you, like we said, things last for, a minute. Like, are you looking forward to, say, season 2 where, the drama probably won't be about you being someone trying to kiss you? Like, are you looking forward to that hot seat just being shifted to someone else?
I would love nothing more. Yeah, no, I think if there was a season 2, that would be exciting to kind of show more of what I do in the business world and show more of who I am, and have it be less about that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, that's the great thing about the show. Like I was saying, like, I have watched Selling Sunset from the beginning, but I've learned things. Like, I never knew if the sales price was so high that it's not a 3% commission. Yeah. I never knew that people still door knocked. I mean, I was shocked to hear that. I didn't even know that was really a thing.
I mean, it's dog eat dog. It's dog eat dog. I think in places like LA, that's much more common. In Orange County, it's a little bit less because it is smaller and you can't really be too dog eat dog, or word gets around. But yeah, totally, it happens.
What is the state of the market like in Orange County now? Like, is there an area that's up and coming? Is there an area that's the hottest area? Is it like a buyer's market, seller's market?
We're kind of in this in between zone, and we're at, it's almost Labor Day now. Generally, late summer is always slower, but there's a lot of other factors in the market. Orange County, though, is still booming. It's still a higher price per square than Los Angeles. Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, Dana Point, San Clemente, still strong, very strong, but slower than it was. You aren't seeing properties in escrow with 20 offers, 10% over list price. That's not happening as much, but property's still moving. So,
and is it more of a buyer's market or seller's market, or it just really depends?
I think it depends on the property. I think, sellers are still doing well. Buyers are starting to see a little bit more room, but with, the hike in interest rates, it's different. So
interesting. I mean, I'm just obsessed with real estate. I know New York really well. I don't know the West Coast. So that's interesting.
I lived in New York for a hot second, and it was fascinating to me coming from Orange County, seeing what you get there versus what you get here. It was mind blowing.
And I spend my summers in the Hamptons, which is where I am now, it's a little better than New York, but it's not much.
But the Hamptons are great. Yeah.
Right. Like you could see yourself in the Hamptons. That would be a good fit for you.
The Hamptons, Montauk, that whole stretch of coast, I love. Yeah.
Did you just run out of New York City, and what were you doing? How did you end up here?
So I went there while my wife was filming something, and I was working on some other project. So I had the flexibility where I didn't have to be necessarily in one place, and I was kind of bouncing back and forth. But we lived in New York, and I still went surfing. I took the train in the snow to go surfing in Rockaway. And so I liked it. I got to check that box, but I couldn't live in New York full time. I love visiting. It's amazing. Best food, best nightlife, amazing people. I just couldn't do it full time.
I think you are probably the only person that has ever lived in New York that has taken the train in the snow to go surfing. You can't tell me there's others.
You'd be surprised. There's people. Yeah. But the
Wow.
funniest thing is usually mornings are better for surfing. So I'd be like leaving my house with my surfboard in the freezing cold, and there's people coming home from the bars as I'm going surfing, trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Like I look like a crazy person, but it was fun.
Wow. Out of all the reality TV that you watch, have you ever watched Real Housewives of Orange County? Do you know any of our Real Housewives of Orange County?
Um, I've seen it. I have seen it. I can't say that I've watched it. And I don't know. I don't think I know any of them personally. Yeah,
Just curious. I figured
yeah.
maybe you'll sell one of them a house one day.
I would love to. If any housewives out there need a real estate agent, I'm right here.
There you are. Is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap up? I always give people I like to give people a chance at the end. Like I said, this is so addictive. This first season, it was great. I loved every minute of it, and thought it
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I think we kind of covered it all. I really wanted to make sure people knew that I'm not a bully, nor was I choosing sides in that moment. But I'm excited for people to see more, and hopefully we get more seasons to kind of show our dynamic further.
I never thought you were a bully. I just thought you were like I said, I just thought it was like each side is weaponizing this and like you're over it and it's like a done deal. I'm like, why are we still talking about it? And everyone is using it to their advantage and you just want to move on because you have moved on.
I'm glad you saw it. Yeah, thank you.
Have a lot of people slipped into your DMs? Is that what it is? And they're like, or you just see like Twitter and like Reddit and all that stuff?
I actually try not to read that stuff because I mean it's just keyboard warriors doing their thing. So I'm pretty good at not reading it. But I do know that was a general take on what happened. And so it's funny because between missing context and only being able to fit so much into 8 episodes, it is hard to cover all sides accurately as it happened. So
Are you shocked? Because as I watched the show, I said to myself, like, okay, I think Alexandra Jarvis is the new Christine Quinn, probably with Rose. Like she's, no shade because I love it all. I'm like, she's
yeah,
probably the bully. But a lot has come out. Like, I don't know if you realize where a lot of people are like Alex Hall is the bully of this show. I
I
don't know
know.
if are you shocked at that?
I I was shocked just seeing what I saw filming. But maybe that's the take, and maybe season 2 things will be different. But it was shocking, I think, for a lot of us knowing what we shot and our dynamic as a whole versus what the world saw, or maybe the world's take on what they saw was interesting for sure.
Where do you think that narrative comes from that she was like the bully? Because it's not how I watched it either. I mean, I was actually shocked
Yeah.
personally.
I think Alex is a strong personality, and as she says, she isn't for everyone. And I think maybe some of her choices in conversation, specifically like when she was saying, "Why are you here?" I think people took that as you're not deserving to be here. But I think in that moment she was genuinely asking, like, "Are you cast or not? Because you're causing drama that's now ruining my situation." So yeah, I don't know, a few things maybe.
That makes sense. Well, where can everyone find you that wants to is either looking to buy or sell a house in Orange County or moving there? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Tyler Stanaland, or you can email me, tyler@ogroup.com. And you can definitely find us on Netflix right now streaming.
I love it. Well, listen, thank you for taking your time. I know you're busy with your day job and surfing, so I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It was fun to catch up.